So if you want to consider high-end new construction in one of the hottest towns in Palm Beach Gardens, this is a video for you. This week I'm exploring one of the upper-end communities in Palm Beach Gardens. The builder's Kolter. They have two communities next to each other, Alton and Artistry. This week we are checking out the luxury community of Artistry in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. One thing I like about this community is that the styles of the homes are unique. These are not like cookie cutter homes. These are big homes. They go up to I'll go through the exact dimensions, but they go over 5,000 square feet. They have a lot to show. Like always, Kolter does a good job of showing lots of models compared to their floor plans. But one of the reasons I like these models show is because this is not your typical home. These models are unique. Of course, it costs more, but that's what happens. It's also due to the fact that you're in the eastern part of Palm Beach Gardens, one of the most sought-after areas in Palm Beach, Florida. My name is Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Luxury. Welcome. We help so many people relocate to this area. People considering looking at Palm Beach, they come to our channel to get ideas. What are the communities I should be thinking about? Well, this is one. I did a video on Artistry a long time ago. I felt it was necessary to come back. Kolter, the builder, is one of the top builders in Palm Beach. And this is a community, if you have the budget, this is a community I would definitely check out. So if you're thinking about checking out and considering this area, and you want to ask questions from people who've actually relocated themselves, people who've actually done it before, well, there's a few ways to get a hold of us here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. But literally two of the best ways are in the description and the comment section. There's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is that'll set up some time for us to speak either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating to here to sunny South Florida. So this is a high-end community. I'll just go right to pricing right now. Just so if this is not for you, you know right away. So in general, I'll go through the specifics of the floor plans and the pricing there, but in general, this community starts at about all in with the lot and everything else, realistically, because we live in Realville here and Living in Palm Beach, about $1.3 million. This model is called the West, and you can tell, and this is a model which is obviously loaded with upgrades. They use high-end stuff. What I love is GE. They have lots of different kinds of GE appliances. This is one of the upper-end GE monogram. The feedback we get, or a lot of people love the double stack when it comes to double stack ovens and so forth, and microwaves, and they love hoods. So if you're looking for those kind of features, you can get those here at Artistry here in Palm Beach Gardens. So I'm walking into one of their higher-end homes. This one's called the Marion, and the first thing that impresses me, which I get, as you know, we speak to a lot of people that are looking at new construction. We are a new home co-broker. That is our game. We have found that most people who are considering moving here from other places prefer new construction over existing. We do both, but we see more and more people. But the feedback I get, and the designers of these places are responding, is an open area. So as you can tell, you walk in, this is one of the most open homes I've seen in a long time, actually. It's a really nice layout. Nice big island. That's a thing people like. A big sink. I hear that a lot. Look at this big refrigerator. So the other factor I was about to say is that people like a lot of lights. People like a lot of like high ceilings. You get all that here. this is a home I think that appeals to many people looking to move here to South Florida. So this community's been around a little bit. They are a total of 469 homes. Communities that are higher priced in general take a little bit longer to sell. It is next to their next door. There's another community called Alton. Very different type of community. Alton doesn't have a gate. Alton prices are about the same. They're also pretty high in there. They're probably comparable, but this is more of a neighborhood, gated community. And the community over Alton, no gate, but again, high end. So it depends. I like to think of it more. Alton is more of an urban look to it, and this one's more of a neighborhood feel. They are 80% sold here. So again, this community's been around a while. The other factor I like is I get a lot of people that come down here that like to have options. One of the great things about this community is that they have both quick delivery and they have to-be-built homes. So you can either do, depending on your timelines. One of the first questions I ask people when I'm working with people, when our team are working with people, is what your timeline is. And when you come to a community like this, they can pretty much fit, if you like this community, they can pretty much fit any timeline that makes sense for you guys. One of the things I like about this community is they have different kind of lots. I'm going to say different size lots. They have They have lots that are 55 feet wide. The average lot goes about 155 feet deep, which is nice. They have some that are up to 170. If you have an oversized lot, obviously there's more demand for a bigger lot. You're going to pay a little bit more for that. So lot sizes, lot pricing. So it changes. It is volatile, and as much as the price of homes change in pricing, lots are even more so, especially when you get down towards the end. Once you start getting, we're 80% sold, as I mentioned here in Artistry. Once you get down to the end, they have a tendency to raise, builders do, have a tendency to start raising prices, which is why I always recommend to get in early to these communities. Not to say that not the value, there is still value here, but lots, they have lots here in Artistry that are literally zero still, like zero, no lot premium. And they have some that are up to in the 300,000s. One thing I do like is that when they show homes here, and Kolter's really good with this, they show them where to pool. We get a lot of people relocating from other areas. That's what Florida's about. We do see a lot of people moving from the southern part of us, from south of Palm Beach, meaning Broward and Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. But for the most part, we get a lot of northerners. And if you're up in the winter right now today, where it's snowing in up the north, and you see this is something that appeals. So this is why I think it's smart of them to demonstrate their models like this with a pool and a beautiful backyard. The other thing you notice here is it backs up to a preserve. They have walking trails here as well. So it does give you a little bit of that nature feel. I get a lot of people who say, I want to back up to something like that. They want that because what that does, it gives you a sense of privacy. When you're on a lake, and in general, lake lots do cost more money, but when you're on a lake, one thing is not good about a lake lot is if this is important to you, it doesn't provide you with a whole lot of privacy. All right, this is what they call model row. One day, these will be actual homes that people will live in. When this community sells out, these will be homes that they will sell. I, as an example, have decorated models that are in a community nearby that is selling out over in Arden. So eventually, one day, they're my listings. One day, these will be listed for sale, and they're going to be more money because they usually come decorated with the furnishings in there. There's a ton of upgrades and so forth. But one of the things, as I was mentioning, and it's demonstrated here, they have a total of 11 unique floor plans. But not just that. Of the 11 floor plans, almost all of them, 10 in fact to be exact, are here on model row for you to check out if you're considering buying a home, new construction here, Artistry in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. So their homes start at about, as I mentioned, all in, you're looking at about 1.3 million. That's that home right there. It's called It's spelled Degas, but it's pronounced Degas without the S. The S is silent. And then it ends up here. This is their biggest model, and it's beautiful. I'll go inside. I think you'll be impressed. Let's look at it from the outside. I think you'll be impressed looking at this. I am. Once you walk in, it's like one of the things I think that appeal to people. It definitely appeals to me is how you enter a home. Is it the grandness of it? It's a factor that a lot of people do appreciate. So let's go walk into your new home here, the West, in Artistry of Palm Beach Gardens. So that's a nice grand entrance. When you have a 2-story home, it's nice. I mean, those are probably, I don't know, 30 feet high, those ceilings. Obviously, this home is decorated really nice. This is like an office or a formal dining room. They're getting away from formal dining rooms, the builders, the designers in general, but you can use that however you like, obviously. But it sort of backs up to a butler's pantry, so I guess this probably more suited for a dining room. But look at the size of this. Look at the size of this island. I mean, this is, if you are a chef, if you are a professional cook, this is a home I would consider. I mean, it's beautiful. It does everything like I mentioned earlier. It has you walk in, it's very lit up, it's very open, and it's got lots of lights. So look, if you go from here, I mean, the whole corner is completely full of light. So let's go check out what the pool looks like out here. So when you go into contract here in Artistry or any new construction, generally speaking with new construction, when you go into contract, you put down about 10%, and then you have an options appointment. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that now. Like you see this outdoor kitchen here. That's an option. There are certain options that I recommend that you do on your own, as opposed to doing with the builder. And I gotta say this is where I have to talk about independent representation. If you walk into the sales center here on your own, I think you're absolutely crazy. We highly recommend independent representation. Let me tell you what that's about. In order to have a real estate company like myself, like living in Palm Beach, to represent you, we have to be there on your first visit to the community. That's just how it works. There are some communities that give us a little bit of leeway, but in general, that is the way it works. We could register you at Kolter. They have a little nuance to that too. We can help register you and circle back. GL Homes has got another way, but they're all different. But in general, as a rule, we should be there on your first visit. The cost to you guys for getting independent representation is zero. There's nothing out of your pocket. It's the builder that pays us. They have a separate marketing budget for us. They're happy to do so because they want people like me, people like our company at Living in Palm Beach, to introduce people perhaps like you to these beautiful communities. So if we represent you, we will be there for the whole ride. It's not just an introduction to the builder. We'll help you from contract, through the inspections, to closing. I have a closing today, literally on a new construction later today. But that's how we operate. I have a transaction coordinating team that keeps the builders accountable. They're dynamite. Any nuances when it comes to inspections, they help us out with. And all this is something that the builder doesn't provide our own. This is something we do. We help to keep the builders accountable. And like I said, independent representation, we would love to do it, and it doesn't cost you anything out of your pocket. From time to time, there will be homes in communities like this that are existing homes. The builder is not going to tell you about those. We at Living in Palm Beach, Florida, we also do existing homes. I have a relationship with all the builders. You can ask my name. They all know me. If we don't think this is a good community for you or the right fit, we will tell you. If there's an existing home for sale we think is a better fit, we will tell you. We are unbiased. When it comes to like walking into the sales center, they want to sell you this. They want to sell you their new home. That's just how they operate. And we have your back. We will consider all that's available to you and help you throughout your journey as you buy new construction here, or any home, I should say, here in South Florida. So something that's very common in Florida is to have lofts. This is one of the biggest lofts that you will ever see. This is a really big one. They're using it as a game room here, as you can tell. Lots of times people use it for the kids to have their TV room, their TV, to do their homework and stuff. But it is a common feature to have a loft. This is the biggest one you probably will come across, but it's one of the features when it comes to buying a home here in Florida. So let me use my little cheat sheet here. I mentioned that the Dega is the smallest home. It's 2,381 square feet. The base price is $1.13 million. This is the West, the biggest one. That's the smallest. This is the West. The biggest one is 2.19. Let's call it 2.13 to round it up a little bit. Right now, currently, by the time you watch this video, it's probably going to be changed as prices are moving up here in Florida in general. But those are the base prices of the houses. When you go online, that's what it'll show you. But don't be fooled by that stuff, because when you look at a new construction website in general, except for quick deliveries, which I'll tell you more on that in a minute, they're not going to price in the upgrades, which could be a big number. It's in general where the guidance here in this community is about 20 to 30%, which is higher compared to most other communities. More than that, or reach out to our team if you want to know what that's about. And it doesn't include the lot, which what I mentioned, the lots can be anywhere between 0 and 300, in the 300,000s. So let's go over some of the nuances on the models. I mentioned that the Degas is the smallest, and roughly 1.3 million is going to be your base price. 1.3 is going to be your all-in price on the low end of this community. This is the West. It's 5,000. Where is it? 5,167 square feet under air. So it's a big house. You in new construction type. Look at the entrance here from here. In new construction today, in general, you do not see homes that large. That's why it's priced to it's the most expensive, it's the largest home. All in, you can take into consideration to spend roughly about $2.5 million for this home. The West, here in Artistry in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. So I was back by the pool there. You can build a pool here. If you do a to-be built home, you can do a pool here. The other thing I mentioned, time frame. You can do a quick delivery or to be built here. So currently there's about 6 or 7 immediately. Some of them are immediate deliveries. When you say quick delivery, what that generally speaking means is that you can get a home delivered prior to like the 8 to 12 months I was telling you about. That's called a quick delivery. There are some that are of immediate delivery. Today, and this changes by the time you watch this video, it probably will be different, but today, if you walk in the sales center today, if you're walking with me, of course, at the sales center, the quick delivery homes are about $1.5 million. Again, back to pricing. If you look at websites, again, it's only the base price. But if you're looking at quick delivery in general, not always, but in general, those are normally quoted all in. They will tell you on a quick delivery home that this is the price, and that includes the land and the upgrades. Reason being is they have picked out the upgrades. You cannot, in general, they do have some exceptions, but in general, when you're buying a quick delivery home, you will be told what your options are. It will come with a certain flooring. It'll come with certain cabinets. So that's one of the give and takes when it comes to be built and quick delivery. Reach out to our team. Again, we are a new home co-broker. We understand this process really well. But also, I want to mention, in general, if you want to get a good deal on a house, quick delivery usually is a way to get a better deal when it comes to, because the builder wants to get this home off their books and move on to the next one. So we have found for clients very favorable deals when it comes to looking at quick delivery homes. Reach out to our team. We'd love to help you look at that route. So if you're looking at new construction, I want to educate you here. People don't always ask this question. Ask about a CDD. It is a fee that a lot of new construction communities do pass on to their buyers. It's not really paid directly at closing, or it doesn't go in your closing statement. It is part of your taxes. What that means is, way back when the builder bought this community, they had to pay for infrastructure. It could have been the clubhouse, could have been lots of stuff. but they paid for infrastructure, and they pass it on to the residents. It's usually done in the form of a bond. The CDD in this community today is $1,600 per year for the duration of that bond. Assume it's going to be somewhere just a little bit short of 30 years right now, but that's sort of how that works. Every community has a different CDD. Some don't have it. Some of them, the community themselves, have paid for this CDD. So in any event, if there's a community that you're looking at, and I get a lot of people say, I don't want to pay CDDs. If there's a community that you feel strongly about that, you want to know what the CDDs are, reach out to our team. Again, I know these builders really well. I know these communities really well, maybe better than anyone else in this area. And I can help guide you as to what to expect. And I can find out what that CDD is in that community that you are considering. Okay, while we're on that topic, let's go to taxes. So taxes, in general, the builders will tell you about 2% of the purchase price, roughly. It's our experience that in general, it's a little bit lower. I had one builder I had a conversation with last night that they guide them about 1.75%. Suffice to say, when you buy a house, expect to pay somewhere like around 1.75, 1.8 of your purchase price. I know that might sound like a lot, but remember this, there's no state taxes in Florida, and there's something called a homestead exemption, which is extremely favorable for years to come when it comes to taxes. Love to go, can't go into that here now, it's very complicated, but reach out to our team. I'd love to tell you what homestead exemption is all about. Two other really good factors when buying new construction. Number one, your homeowner's insurance in general is going to be lower. Builders are likely, not builders, insurance carriers are likely to give you a more favorable rate because these are brand new homes. They're well constructed. These things are built with impact windows. These things are built to withstand, a significant, windstorm here. So in general, your homeowner's insurance is a lot lower here than it would be if you're buying existing homes. Literally, it could be a third of what you buy when it comes to buying an existing home. The other factor is you get a warranty. So all the appliances and all that good stuff, it has about a year. There are structural guarantees and warranties that are longer. If you want to use your own inspector on this, reach out to my team. I have a little secret of what you could do, but so I often get a question is, I'm closing on our home, Ray. Should we hire an independent inspector? So if you're wondering about that yourself, reach out. I can walk you through that process. That's one of the things we do, is we help you through the process when it comes to buying a new home here in South Florida, here at Living in Palm Beach. So the amenities here at Artistry is tremendous. Just walk through the fitness center. This is a meeting room. It's quiet here. 469 homes, and there's no one here. But they will be. As I mentioned, this community is about 80% sold out. And this is always, if any community, this is the most focal point that people will gather. A place like this, if you're not familiar with Florida lifestyle, this place will be busy on a Saturday. This is where you're going to meet your neighbors. If you're not from the area and you want a nice place where to meet people, this is going to be it. So the HOA fee here in Artistry is $522. It does get you a lot. All HOA fees are not created equal. You get this, you get your landscaping, not just the community landscaping, but your yard, your front and back. If you were to, looking at the size of these lots, if you were to get that on your own, you're going to pay at least $100 or so, $150, maybe $200 a month to do that. It has internet. It has security at the gate. In fact, it's a very secure gate, from what I could tell. Anyways, there's a lot that goes into it. If you're wondering what exactly you get in this community or any community when it comes to HOA fee, reach out. We'd love to help you. So if you have kids, this is something I would definitely look to bring them to. We have one in my community. The difference here is these people have it covered. It gets hot here in Florida. So they've done it the right way. If you're sitting here and want to watch your children, there's space for you while you're enjoying living here in Artistry in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Although I said we're 80% sold here, you can see there's still a lot to sell here. We would love to help you with your journey when it comes to buying a home here and or any new construction area in the community in the area. It is what we do. We have such a strong relationship with the builder. We can tell you where the incentives are. Sometimes, like we had a really strong period with one builder at the beginning of last year, and we ended with strong sales on the end. And I'll tell you why, because we know where to go, where the incentives are, what people are thinking, and so forth. So if you want help with searching out what is hot and what is not here in South Florida, reach out to Living in Palm Beach. We would love to help you. So 2 cool things about where I am right now. The name of this street, this is the first one, is called Delacroix. The cool thing is I know how to pronounce it. It's some kind of French word because letter D. I was given directions to how to get back here. I haven't been back here. So one of the benefits about living here in Artistry in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, is they have walking trails. And I definitely can appreciate this. So this is like what they call like a Florida forest. And this is what Florida was like before we inhabited it here, as before the human beings and when we took over from the alligators and so forth. By the way, yes, we do have alligators here. That's another question I get a lot of. But they have like 1.5 miles of walking. Whoa, something just went by there. Don't know what it is. Don't want to know. They have 1.5 miles walking trails here. So if you're into nature, this is a great place. There's a couple of communities. Reach out to our team. I'd love to tell you what the other ones are that have these walking trails. But if you're into hiking, you're into walking, if you're into the outdoors, Artistry is a place I would consider. Do we go this way or do we go that way? I don't know. The only thing I do know is this. We're happy to have you here at Living in Palm Beach, because here at Living in Palm Beach, it's a pleasure to help you. Here is paradise here in South Florida.